Good evening, Ultimate fans, and welcome back to a nice, overcast, cloudy Seattle. We're here for another Pacific Northwest showdown between the Oregon Onyx and your Seattle Cascades. I'm Anthony Zag Ziegler, and I'm here with my partner.
Charlie Mercer.
And yeah, we're here for another one. The Cascades are off a win. Oregon's off a win. Yeah. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing pretty well. Just want to highlight the anthem that's playing. You want to tell us a little bit about this anthem and what it means? So the anthem that's playing is the national block anthem, and the Tempest made the decision that this would serve as our national anthem every year, lift every voice and sing. For all of the games this season, and this is also the anthem that is playing for all of the ADL Cascades games. And so that's what you can hear in the background, and you can hear all of the players standing and listening to. So just wanted to give everyone that piece of background coming into this first game. Yeah, but pretty excited for this first game. If we can get the rosters up on the screen, we can talk about some of our players to watch. We are pretty excited about this. So coming up first for Oregon, our 3 players to watch are number 12, Tina Sneeder. Tina is in the top 3 goal scorers in the league right now. And looking at their plus-minus rating, they are at a 13.5 plus, meaning that they have been on the lines that have scored more than not scored 13 plus times, which is the highest rating for anyone on the team. Number 29, Greta Eisenbray, who is a Seattle native, so certainly has some teeth to grind coming up here, and is a leader in both the assist and throwing yard categories in the league, and is just a huge contributor for Onyx. You can really be looking for their big throws downfield.
For sure.
And lastly, we have number 14, Kristen Roberts, who is a captain and a leading goal scorer on the Onyx. She's always having so much fun and being so supportive of her teammates with a huge smile on her face. So those are all players to be looking out for today. Going on the field right now, you can see that Tempest won the coin flip. You can see our 4 observers are getting us started with our captains. So down there for Seattle, you can see, you could see Lexi Garrity with Sharon Sau, who are captaining. You can see, and then you can see Greta Eisenbray for Oregon, and I couldn't see the other one. Apologies, they walked away. If we can get the Tempest roster up on the screen, we can talk about the Tempest players to watch. Yeah, look at that Tempest roster. So our players to watch for today are Cassie Wong, number 17. Cassie is tied for offensive efficiency score, which is a fun advanced stat that the WUL has put out this year. It's a combination of goals scored, impact on the field when you are playing, assist, like throwing yards, receiving yards, and in that metric, Cassie's at 24.9, tied for the lead with Ivy Hecko. And I think that something to note about Cassie is that, Cassie is such a well-rounded player. She has a huge impact across a variety of fields, which is why she has that high score in this area, but isn't a team leader in any one specific category. Additionally, we have Jamie Erickson, number 18, who is tied for second on the Tempest with number of blocks at 6. And Sadie Jajerski, number 77, who broke an all-time WUL record for the most number of assists in a game at 8 assists in their last game. So we're definitely going to be looking out for Sadie's throws, Jamie's blocks, and Cassie's overall impact across the field.
Whew. A lot of impact out here. Sadie was serving out here last time the the Tempests were out here. Thanks for all that, Charlie. It looks like the teams are out there and ready to go. Um, yeah, it looked like there's a little bit of a little wind coming from the right side of your screen to the left. And here we go with the first pull. Number 18, Julia Sherwood. And we're underway. This is Hannah Kawhi. Centers to Jezerski. Up to Garrity. Oh. There goes Sharon Sow. Hey, Garrity goes horizontal early.
Ooh, look at that throw.
Hey. Sadie Jezerski to Lexi Garrity.
Sadie's trying to rack up those assists early, trying to break another record.
There we go.
Sharon had the grab in the middle of the field, and I just want to highlight Sharon Sow. Sharon, number 4, is a captain for Tempest, and this is Sharon's first on-field appearance this season. Sharon has been out up until this time rehabbing from an injury, and I know that Sharon's on-field and off-field presence makes such a big difference for Tempest, and having Sharon on the field is a huge benefit to everyone. So huge celebration that Sharon's back out here with us.
For sure. Definitely an impact player, a returner from last year.
Oh, and you see that throw from Sharon to having Lexi lay out. Trying to make your teammates look good.
Oh, yeah. Hess centers it. Eisenbray thinks about it. Nope. Looking for an option. Catches one in the middle. This is Bruce. Up to Zajon. Oh, 2 cuts for the price of 1. The shot is up. On a platter. Oh! Just out of the hands of the bidding.
Oregon went
Camrat.
6 for 6 on Hucks in their last game against Colorado. They had a 100% conversion rate. And I know that they're looking to maintain that, but they're currently 0 for 1 now.
Oh, speaking of a Huck, there goes one to Erickson. Oh.
Play to watch, Jimmy Erickson.
Okay. Yep. Hucks are going up early here in the I-5 rivalry. Eisenbray gets it off the line. Pick called as Zajon comes down wide open.
So when the disc starts here, a note from the WUL rule set is that there will be a 4-count pre-stall coming in off of this pick. So players will have, you can see that they are all frozen on the screen while the play is being discussed. And the disc there will be a 4-second period where the stall count has not yet started, but the players will be allowed to resume their movement. And so we're calling that the pre-stall motion. So you can see here.
Oh yeah, I really like that rule.
Still trying to discuss where the disc is coming back into play, what the stall count should be as a result of that pick call. As a reminder, in Ultimate, picks are not legal. This is different than in sports like basketball. So there's that. You can see the observer giving us that pre-stall count. And that whistle was blown because the disc was thrown before the pre-stall motion, before the disc had been tapped back in, because it was thrown during the pre-stall time count.
Nice. Thanks for that knowledge. I'm sure it looks a little herky-jerky, but these rules are implemented for a reason. And here we go. We're back into the action. Zajon over to Eisenbray. Good gainer down the field for Camrat. Finds Bruce. Jorgensen to Eisenbray. Scoops it. Oh. Too much sauce there on the flick.
There is a foul that has been called. It was an uncontested foul, so Eisenbright gets the disc back. Because it was an uncontested foul, the player has possession and gets to try it from the goal line.
And coming down in the end zone, that's Hess. Rachel Hess comes down with it. Ooh, that was a interesting point. A lot of observations.
Yeah, so speaking of our observers and the incredible contribution that they make to our team, let's highlight our observers for the evening. So on the goal line right there, the observer that was making that call for the foul call, that was Autumn Toki. We also have Kuda Mera, Zita Strickland, and Wally Kwong. The intention was to have an all-woman and non-binary observing staff, but one individual did have to call out sick. But we have a majority all-woman non-binary observing staff, and that is the goal for us at the WUL, to be highlighting both our women and non-binary players as well as our women and non-binary observers.
For sure. That was Emma Bartlett on the pull. Oh, miscommunication in the backfield. Kawhi is unable to reset the disc, and Oregon gets a gift here early. Tetlow looking for someone. Player to watch. Watch this. Hannah Kawhi lets it go.
Cassie Wong, let's go!
Yep. Fast break. Okay, settling down here.
Oh, come on, Linnea.
Oh, two. Oh, Cassie Wong. Hello, I'm in the end zone.
It's like these players know we're hyping them up.
Mm-hmm.
They know we call them out as players to watch, so they gotta show off. And Cassie Wong, here we go, showing up, blowing up.
Not new to this. Cassie Wong is true to this. 2-0 or 2-1. Pretty much on serve. This is exactly what you want to see. No break yet, even though there was a chance there for Oregon.
Yeah, our weather here today is really great, like spring weather for Seattle. This is like a classic Seattle day. It's overcast, it's in the low 50s. It was like sort of a little spitter spatter of rain earlier, but it has since calmed down. Like, this is classic spring in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Portland too. We get just about the same weather.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
So all these players are pretty used to playing in this kind of weather.
Yeah. Passes it up to Jima.
Tempest with a zone look.
Ooh. Nice break mark throw there. Tajima and Hess playing catch.
Tempest is holding the zone for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oftentimes they only hold it for a certain number of passes.
Oof, Eisenbray having to work for that one.
But they've been able to contain Oregon to staying in the backfield, so they keep holding it. Even though they're really playing person in the backfield, or in the downfield.
Foul on the throw.
Pre-stall motion. Another violation called because we are trying to enter throwing movements before the pre-stall time has elapsed. That's a fun hammer over the top there. Claudia to Eisenbray.
Eisenbray surveys. Gets it back. Hey, shimmy, shimmy. Gets it off.
I love that throw the inside to the behind space.
Ooh.
Ooh, saucy.
Step around there. Big swing. They've been in the same 10-yard for this whole point.
You gotta feel bad for those players, the Tempest players in the cup right now. They're getting a little sluggish.
Ooh. foul on the errant throw. It's coming back.
Which makes a lot of sense. It was a clean release, and it went not where the thrower intended it to. You can again see that freestyle motion. It's a good chance for that cup to reset, find their shape again. Tempest playing tight first and downfield on the cutters.
Tajima finds the hole. Now Eisenberg's turn. Step, power position. It goes up. Zajon! Oh! Wow, on the rebound. Morgan Zajon collects it in the end zone. Oregon ties it up.
That was a phenomenal grab by Zajon.
Gellert was in there. Yeah, a little bit.
Exactly, and Gellert's up there for Tempest on the number of blocks they've had so far this year. Really known for being both, a huge goal scorer, but also significant in the number of blocks they've had.
Gellert just unable to track it fast enough after she turned her head.
I'm really impressed by Zajon's reaction time.
That was a really grindy point there for the Onyx. A lot of swing in it, a lot of patience. Handlers versus the cup, and then get a couple through the holes of the cup, and then find themselves in the end zone. Here goes Jezerski. Gets rolling. Ooh, breakside throw all the way around to Lim. Ooh! Jezerski, that's going up. Caitlin rolling. Keep it rolling, folks. Oh, not the too little. Caitlin with another goal.
The joy. Mm-hmm. It's palpable.
Oh yeah, I need a replay. Excuse me.
That inside, just perfectly leading.
Oh.
And Caitlin does such a great job timing their jump. Their faces, rolling legs, they're so good. Let's go.
Caitlin is no stranger to roofing people in the end zone.
What they are in their first year in the WUL, they are rapidly building a reputation for that.
Mm-hmm. Big pull here by Ricarte. Eisenberg collects. Centers to Tetlow. Sue on the mark. Ooh.
Tempest in a junk here. This is different than the three-person zone they were just playing. Looking to do some kind of bracketing.
Eisenberg bobbles. Seattle on the attack now. This is Laura Toe. Over the top. Ooh, nice bid. Nothing doing. Cassie Wong looking for help. Time out from the Seattle coaches, looks like.
Just really good move by the Seattle coaches.
Yeah.
And that stall count's getting up there and there's no reset.
No reset?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So now that we're in a timeout, I'd like to just acknowledge that we are on Duwamish territory and in water connection with the Duwamish and all the Coast Salish people out there. If you're listening from Portland, you are occupying territory of the Confederated Grand Ron, and it's a collection of 30 different tribes and bands that were all there and had history there. So I just want to take a moment to recognize that. And now we back. Timeout's over. Oh yeah, thanks. And now here we go. We got a vert classic.
something that's noteworthy about the Tempest offense that you're seeing here is that they're you didn't really get a whole lot of chance to showcase it, but they're really looking to isolate the top 3 players
Oh, yeah.
and kind of have a give go with them. And that's like a pretty standard look when you have the disc centered in the middle of the field, looking to the front of the stack, giving them the space to make a play, which is exactly what we see here with Jazerski. Just putting it out to Sharon, putting it out to space, letting Sharon go get it.
Sharon's out one-on-one. I like those odds.
Yeah. Doesn't really, doesn't matter who's guarding Sharon.
Like, wow, the Sharon South. That's a break there for Seattle. So the first break has been broken. And now we'll see how Oregon responds. Jazerski letting it rip.
Has some of the best pulls in the WUL.
That was good loft. Kind of like a nice living situation. Off the line, too tall.
That was great D by number 38, Rachel Bradshaw. Rachel put herself behind the player so the player couldn't get to the disc without going through Rachel. So even though Rachel didn't get touch the disc there, I think Rachel should really get credit for that block.
Oh, that cut combo was mean. Bradshaw. Working now in the backfield with Jazerski. Elmi. Another rookie out here. Looking for Jazerski again. Ooh. To Lexi Garrity. That's a familiar connection. Just like some Wi-Fi. Back-to-back breaks.
Lexi Garrity is not yet leading the team with the number of goals scored, but is making a name, trying to get up there.
Oh, yeah.
That backhand around from Jazerski is so pretty, has such great touch, allows Lexi to be able to, catch it, still about a step in from the sideline, not have to be too worried about her footwork.
That was a nice bid there by Tajima. Maybe a fingertip away from getting a block.
And still really clean, right? Not a lot of contact. Those are things we want to celebrate.
Seattle up now 5-2. As the sun is trying to come out in the distance beyond Climate Pledge Arena. This is the Oregon Onyx's first time in the Memorial Stadium, right here in the heart of Seattle Center.
Yeah, the format that was different last year, where each team played every other team in the league once, and so for that game, Seattle went down to Oregon. So this is their first time coming up here.
Ooh, Zajon catches it in traffic. Ooh, Cheryl Sue cancels that deep look with a nice mark. Big gainer. Another one there by Camrat. Oh. Unfortunate. Cheryl Sue puts it out there. Oh. Camrat is there to ensure the Oregon gets the disc back.
Cheryl Sue is really expected to be a thrower that will take risks for this Tempest offense. Cheryl has thrown more hooks than anyone else, and a number of them have been uncompleted. But the benefit of what that does is that by taking those risks, they're able to gain a lot of field position to put on this stifling defense. Players like Jamie Erickson on the mark right now.
Oof.
Making that catch really hard for Kendall Jorgensen, which gets Tempest back the disc at about midfield. So even though there's a turnover each way in there, it's still a net positive of yards gained.
Cherry on the disc now. Swings over the limb. Hits the big gainer. Gets it right back. That's the combo. Erickson keeps it in bounds. Cherry swings the toe. Lefty to lefty here.
Both of them have such power.
Ugh. Sue comes down with it. Oh.
So the rule in the WUL is if there is, when the time runs out on the clock, whichever team has possession gets to maintain possession until there is a turnover or until a goal is scored. So the question here is, did the turnover happen while there is still time on the clock? If there was even 1 second left on the clock, then Oregon will get one shot, one possession to try to score here. So that's the conversation that you see happening with the observers on the field, trying to decide whether or not this quarter has come to a close, or if the turnover happened before the clock expired, before the whistle blew, which gives Oregon one possession. So this is a pretty significant ruling here.
Looks like they're gonna give it to Oregon.
So even though time is at 0, we are at the end of the quarter. Oregon will be able to play until either they score or until a turnover occurs.
Ooh, crucial mistake there. If they would have waited 1 more second for that look to the end zone, they could have been the last one with a shot.
Yeah.
And now they have to work on defense here. Let's see how Seattle reacts to it. Oh, Nikki Bruce goes upstairs.
So nice
corrals
grab.
it.
Nice grab by Nikki Bruce.
2 hands for safety. Tajima.
Oregon is a lot more patient here than they have been on some of their other possessions. I think that, knowing it's the end of the quarter, knowing that this is their only shot, they're really looking to take shots that they know are going to be completed.
Dejan.
Oh.
Woo! Unable to corral it there. That was good offense. Hit the hands. That's what you look for. Oh.
That was such a phenomenal second attempt by Dejan.
Well,
Dejan, one of our veteran players out here, national champion with Oregon Fugue in 2010 and 2013.
Ooh.
I think something that's really fun about both the Tempest roster and the Onyx roster is the balance of players who are these seasoned veterans like Dejan, who've been playing for a long time, and these younger players who are really up and coming. Unfortunately for both sides, because this weekend is college conferences, which is one of the first of the regional events that lead up to qualifying for the national championships for college. Because this weekend is college conferences for the Pacific Northwest, we are missing a lot of our college players, and so a number of college hotshots that would otherwise be on the field for both Tempest and Onyx are not here, not present today. So we have a little bit more of our savvy veterans, more of our experienced players, and it's still such a great opportunity for everyone to get the chance to play together.
For sure. Study up, everybody, because we're going to have a break here in a second, and we'll be right back at you with the second quarter. The Onyx versus the Tempest. Very highly contested first quarter. And Jezierski has it. And we're just ready to start this quarter off.
Yeah, as we think about the story of this game, you know, Ultiworld's power rankings have Seattle Tempest listed as the #1 team in the power rankings and Oregon Onyx as the #7 team out of 8 teams in the league. You know, Seattle has a win-loss record of 3-1, Oregon 1-3. So Tempest is definitely the favored team coming into this game. But their last competition was really close. Tempest won 15-13, but it was a tight game, and I think showed some of the best that Oregon, you know, can play.
For sure. And I think anytime there's something that's like a rivalry, like there's always room for some crazy stuff to happen. No matter what the power rankings say or anything like that. When people's pride gets involved, anybody can come up big.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of history between these cities.
Ooh, through a Tempest sandwich, Eisenberg comes down with it.
That step out on Eisenberg to be able to put that disc so far into space is really incredible.
Rachel Egan, good grab, unable to get the next throw off. Seattle has another chance here. Jezierski walks, everybody else is in position. Wow. To Kawhi, all the way on the break side. Cassie Wong upstairs, unable to come down.
That movement is really beautiful, right? The way that Jezierski is able to lead Hannah Kawhi on the break side. You know, the mark is on the wrong side of Hannah Kawhi, so Hannah's able to get that break around off to a very open Cassie. It's like a beautiful play, and that's absolutely what Tempest wants to be doing.
Ooh, Ricarte, heavy pressure.
Stall has been called.
On that Jezierski Kawhi connection, I think just their wealth of knowledge of like body positioning and where people are, I think it really like plays to their advantage. Because if the person guarding Kawhi makes one mistake, they're gonna capitalize on it, just like that. And that's Sue in the end zone.
What a grab! Sue is so springy. Do you see that behind the head? Nice work, Sue. You can see it being reenacted on your screens at home. I also really appreciate the composure that Hannah Kawhi here has.
Oh, the fake low to high. Come on. Hannah, sue this.
Yeah, when I was talking to the coaches before the game, the Tempest coaches, Deb Shivey, Rory Tedcombe, and Pam Krause, who I love dearly and are wonderful humans, are notoriously tight-lipped and are disinterested in saying very many words about what their game plan was going to be this game. They like to say a lot of really generic things like, we're going to play tight defense, we're going to run our offense, we're going to work hard.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, coaches. You're really helping a commentator out. That being said, Tempest is doing those things.
They weren't lying.
It's true.
Tajima centers it now. Jorgensen gets it off. Now up. Ooh. Off the rebound. Tajima keeps hope alive here for the Onyx. Hammer over the top.
Wow!
Hess comes down with it. That's a goal for the Onyx.
Claudia Tajima is such a fun player to play with. They do stuff like that, right? Like the second, the bid off the tip to then throwing a hammer for the score. You know, I think something that's noteworthy about Tajima is that when they are on, like she runs the field and can really take over and have a huge impact of, on the game. And sometimes Tajima is less on, and that can be also impactful for a team. And right now, it looks like Tajima is on and is firing, which is really going to help close this gap that Oregon has against Tempest. If we can get more of this version of Tajima, who's like really, really fired up, making these big plays, that's a difference maker for this squad.
For sure. I remember in warm-ups they were throwing, and Tajima threw like 10 straight hammers. So I figured a hammer was coming here soon. Here comes Seattle on offense here.
And we have Oregon in a zone look. It's like kind of sag.
Elmi gets it right back.
But back out to person.
Elmi, former UW player, also went to Rainier Beach High School. Ooh.
Great pressure by Greta Eisenbray.
I believe that was Bishop. Oh, Stephanie Lim. It's the block, and instant shot goes up. Jezerski coming down in the end zone. Leah Baron Simmons. Shoo. Wow.
Just want to own my mistake. You're right. That was Aubrey Bishop with the defensive pressure there, not Greta Eisenbray. Thank you for the correction, Zing.
No problem.
Yeah, something I want to highlight from that last point, in talking to the Oregon coach before the game, Mike Ferguson, who's their head coach, and Lily Hurd, who's their assistant coach, Mike was saying that they felt really good about their matchup, their like person-on-person defense against Seattle, and they, were open to bringing out their zone that was really effective against Colorado Alpenglow, but, we're thinking about heading toward leaning on their person a lot more heavily, and that was the first time that we'd seen a jump look coming out of Oregon. Likely because they're looking for a different tool in their toolkit to be able to see if they can disrupt this Tempest offense.
We'll see how successful they are in that. And as this point is going on, I just want to shout out all the fans. Who's here? It's a little chilly, and the crowd is still here. The community comes out. Okay. Dink and dunk action here by the Onyx, and it's working. Ooh. Camrat gets it out the ground. Up to Tajima. Hammer.
More hammers.
Who needs to pivot when you can just hammer?
Not Tajima.
Here come the Tempest. Ricarte's on the run. Brutes in pursuit. Positioning. Oh, just off the hands.
You can really see that fire from Nikki Bruce, who has Seattle ties. It's like looking to show up big here in front of that crowd, and also the sportsmanship. There's a foul called, uncontested. Really will recognize that I'm going to put pressure on, and okay, I did hit you. That did interfere with your ability to catch the disc.
Oh, inside shot. Wow. Sue, Wong.
Couchy. So let's talk about Anna Couchy for a second. Anna Couchy plays for the University of Washington. Anna Couchy has sectionals, has conferences this weekend for college, and is still here.
Wow. The dedication.
Yeah. Anna Couchy, number 70, showed up to tryouts and was not a particularly well-known player in the Seattle team. Enoch Couchy is someone who showed up at tryouts and earned their spot on their roster at tryouts. They're nose for the end zone, for doing what they just did, where like the rest of the field, they don't touch the disc, but it comes to the end zone. Enoch Couchy has this really incredible sixth sense for getting the disc in the end zone. And so, you know, as one of those younger development players, this is their first year on the team, they're still finding their foot, but like this is what what we can expect from them over this season and in future seasons, like scoring a bunch of goals, doing what they just did right there.
For sure. We'll see how the development happens here in the league. That was a pull by Sharon Sow, and now Oregon is on the go. Ooh, contested one-handed grab there.
Nice grab.
Eisenberg gets it off. Tetlow gives it back. Eisenberg. Ooh, good run through there by who else? Lexi Garrity. Wow. Josie Gillette, like the razor, throws it. Oh! Lexi Garrity comes down in the end zone as she normally does. Wow.
Oh, that's amazing. Great work, Lexi. So,
that throw really just stood up there, sorry.
Yeah. Gosh, let's watch the replay.
It's not even in the frame.
It's a great box out by Lexi.
I hope someone took a picture of that one.
So I want to shout out the West Perspective blog, which is the official blog of the WUL. It's run by Powell Jonas, who's an LA Aviators player for the AODL. And Lexi has been participating in some of the different posts. And this past week, one of the questions was like, hey, if you're the GM of the team, are you going to be making any trades with any other teams? Is like any, you know, oh, I'll give you this player, I'll get that player. And Lexi goes on record and says, in true Lexi fashion, if I were the GM of the Tempest, I am not trading for anyone. See you at the fields. Sorry, see you on the fields. It's a very Lexi statement, and I feel like Lexi lives and dies with that fire, and that's what we're seeing there, right? With the block and the goal.
That's a good quote. Oh my goodness.
There's more gold where that came from. Stay tuned, but keep listening to the broadcast, folks.
Putnam just got, these cuts are looking nice. All right, we're back at the action. Barth on the disc.
You can see this stoppage of play down here, and I just want to highlight, because it's a good video angle for it, that Onyx is playing with their reset in the stack. And that's like a really fun and different strategical choice that Onyx is making. And when I talked to Mike about it before the play, he said that it was intentional to have the players, you know, looking up fields, be able to have more break opportunities, and, you know, and to be able to attack for more vertical yards. It's different than a traditional vertical offense is running. Ooh. And allows players to be able to make plays like that.
Camera with a nice saving grab there, gets it off the line. Yeah, it is interesting not seeing somebody just hanging out in the backfield. The reasoning sounds sound. Hammer fake. Steps through. Ooh.
What a bid by Erickson.
Camrat finds the window. Tina Sneeder finds the goal there. Nice safe bid there by Erickson.
So since we've been talking about the West Perspective blog, I want to pull up Lexi's sort of suggestions for all conference teams. My metrics, Lexi says. One person from each team, no more than 2 from the same team, and using the weekly data as best as an English major can. I need to be honest, this is more O-line focused recognition list. My apologies to the D-line folks out there. Just like the middle child, you're getting overlooked, and I feel bad. But our Northwest Conference, we have Sadie Jezerski from Seattle. We have Frances Gallert from Seattle. And from Oregon, we have Tina Sneeder and Julia Sherwood. More to come after this point.
Oregon with a break chance here. This is Tetlow. Oof. Eisenbray. Wow. Ooh. Just over the head.
The other players, Kat Songer from Utah, Jade McLaughlin from Colorado, and Akane Kleinkopf also from Colorado. That is Lexi's ballot for, starting line from the Northwest Conference.
That's a pretty solid line.
And I think that we can really see, we can see Julia Sherwood and Tina Sneeder having an impact on the field here.
For sure. Ooh.
What a grab!
Not in called. Tetlow. Injury.
Yeah.
Maybe before the throw.
Injury substitution on the field. Because we are in the last 2 minutes of the game, the clock does stop for all injury timeouts.
Wow. Another pre-stall. Early throw there, I think. I don't want to speculate, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah, we've had a lot of that this game. Players not respecting the pre-stall, starting throwing motion and faking movement before that.
Getting a little antsy.
It's a little surprising this far into the season. You would expect the players to be used to, more accustomed to that role by now.
I think with the season about halfway over, I think I'll put that on pause. Wow.
Maybe not in the end zone, but that's what Anna Couchy does. Oh.
Trying to fit it at the seam is Jezerski. But yeah, I think halfway through the season, Portland needs some wins because it's the top 2 make it to championship weekend here back in Seattle. So I think they want to find a way to make it back here to Seattle in June.
Absolutely.
So the intensity will be there.
Well, and as we think about the standings across the league, since it's the top 2, Seattle, looks like a heavy favorite to get one of those spots, which then means that the rest of the conference is fighting for that second spot. So you have Utah and Oregon and Colorado all trying to be that second team out of there. And since both Utah's only played 2 games and Colorado and Oregon are both 1-3, that second spot is still really up for grabs. It could be anyone's game. And so this game really does matter for Oregon.
Point diff, all that. Everything goes into it.
Speaking of point diff, on this timeout, let's talk about Oregon's point diff. How even though they are 1-3, they still have a point diff of +2 overall. They have scored 61 goals in total.
Okay.
But they have had 59 goals scored against them. So even though they have lost 3 games, they're still at a positive 2-point diff, which I think is, speaks to how close their games have been, right? Oregon is this team that can compete with everyone, and just at the end, they're not able to close those gaps, but they're fighting, they're working hard, they can contest, and it's what we saw that earned them, their berth into championship weekend last year.
That's a crazy stat. Thanks, Charlie. Wow.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time digging in the stats for this game. If you haven't checked out the WUL stats page, I highly recommend it. There's some really advanced analytics happening there, and it's a fun read for any of you stats nerds out there, like me.
10 seconds remaining in the first half. Sue unable to connect with Cherry. No foul called.
Sue looks unhappy about that.
This is the last possession. Hope gets it off. Up to Jones. Sherwood. Oh, turn happens. Look like that is halftime. Wow. Gritty first half here. Seattle's on top by 5.
What a game. We are thinking about this first half. I think that, Seattle's more than doubling Onyx's points. That checks out with what we know of the teams. Tempest is a strong looking to fire offensively. Their hold percentage over the course of the season so far is at about 77%, and Oregon's hold percentage over the course of the season so far is at about 66%. And I think that we're seeing a lot of that here today, where Tempest is coming out strong and is fighting. Oregon is feisty, is putting pressure on, but the completion percentage, the connections, there are just a few more miscues that Oregon is having that Seattle's able to capitalize on.
For sure. We'll see how the tail of the tape is written in the second half. We'll see you. Go get a snack or something, use the bathroom, come back.
Woo!
I'm Lex Garrity, I play for Seattle Tempest. When I step on the field at Memorial Stadium under the Space Needle, it's such an iconic part of Seattle, and it just brings this awesome sense of I'm truly competing for my city. And it's just so exciting to have a home stadium and have a sense of pride in defending your turf against an opposing team.
In pursuit, but it is caught. Teresa Zettner.
What an incredible!
Oh, my goodness, the layout grab from Kristen Pajunas.
I just stood up. I couldn't even sit for that. First of all, the angle of that throw. Second of all, the finish. And watch the inside out. Just look at the angle of this throw. What a great grab.
I'm Ari Lozano, and I play for Seattle Tempest. I think some of the things that motivate me and drive me on the field are just running. Like my body can do like amazing things, and pushing myself and excelling and getting better, and like at the same time like getting to know people and build community, and just those are the things that really motivate me to continue to play hard and work hard and train. And it's fun to have this like the sense of camaraderie with competing with people who also push you to be better, like not necessarily just on the field but also off the field.
OT. Number 7, Giants and Chargers, Justin Herbert. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute.
Nope. Looks like that's Western Ultimate League Frisbee. I'd know it anywhere.
It looks like Cody Lippincott, right? Mm-hmm. Laying out, well done.
All right, so I'm going to just guess.
My name's Cheryl Sue. I'm number 24 on Seattle Tempest. If you're starting out, just like throw a lot, but throw with a purpose. I do a lot of, visualization. I imagine like a mark on me so that I can work on like more realistic throws around. I imagine like my target, like where that would be, whether it's, on the person's left shoulder or like right at their chest. I think watching elite players, especially like with this like pro league team, the women's pro team, it's like watching them play, and mimicking that into your like practice and then your play style, because I think that's how I got better.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Ricaurte. I'm number 2 in Seattle Tempest. I always like to be my best version, so I'm always looking to improve, and especially in a team, I always like to help others improve, because if they improve, they will help me to be my best version. Just always be really faithful and focus in what I want to be, and that's what inspires me more, and be the best of myself.
Fish in pursuit, but it is caught. Teresa Zettner.
What an incredible!
Oh, my goodness, the layout grab from Kristen Pajunas.
I just stood up. I couldn't even sit for that. First of all, the angle of that throw. Second of all, the finish. And watch the inside out. Just look at the angle of this throw. What a great grab.
My name is Pam Krause, and I'm coaching Seattle Tempest. I am so excited about the talent that has shown up at our tryouts. I am inspired by the amazing athleticism, the play, the creativity. We are so fortunate to have so much talent to choose from, so I'm very excited about the talent that we're going to get to work with this season and show off to the world what we can do.
Fish in pursuit, but it is caught. Teresa Zettner.
What an incredible!
Oh, my goodness, the layout grab from Kristen
I just stood up. I couldn't even sit for that. First of all, the angle of that throw. Second of all, the finish. And watch the inside out. Just look at the angle of this throw. What a great grab.
Hi, I'm Lexi Garrity. I'm number 10 on Seattle Tempest. I think my strength as a player is that I don't run away from working hard. Like I love grinding it out. I love taking an initiating cutter and hassling them. Or I love being the cutter that needs to work hard to get open. And I think I don't run away from the challenge, and that makes me a strong player. What motivates me to work hard is, like, sure, also winning, but like taking pride in your matchup, taking pride in like what your role is in the team, and just really striving to be the best version of yourself and like be that piece of the puzzle for the Tempest.
I really want to show young girls that they can be athletes too. I've struggled with imposter syndrome, and I've really had to ground myself in why I play. I play because it's fun. I like to compete. I like to show it with my teammates. I like to push myself to be the best. And I think being out there and doing that for them and having other people see and potentially think that, hey, that can be me one day, that's really exciting.
I know I've struggled in my own life to like take up space, and I think that it's so amazing that the ultimate field has like changed that for me. That I can get out there and I'm like, no, I know I am a good cutter and I know what I need to do here, and I know my role on the team. And I think that it's just helped me open up so much. It's also led to more confidence for myself, and I really want for other women and non-binary folk to see that, oh, they're out there doing this. How do I get into that? What does that look like? You know, what's my role there?
I really liked a combination of both endurance and shorter, more competitive sprints, and then also going up directly against players. And I think that also is what attracted me to Ultimate as well. Understanding like what you're capable of doing is just a really great experience that kind of drives you to just get better at those individual skills in sports.
My Ultimate story, I've been fortunate to have coaches and friends and the community to encourage me to be the player that I am today, and like ultimately fall in love with the sport of Ultimate. So I hope that the Western Ultimate League, like this program we have today, the open side, we continue to connect and welcome new fans and future players and continue growing this community that we all love. I think hopefully one day that someone will fall in love with the sport as much as I love it.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just knowing that we're giving an opportunity and visibility to the sport for young women. It's the best thing.
One more time. Oh,
yeah!
Oh, yeah! Baby!
Cody!
Point is underway. Seattle is starting with the disc. We'll see how both teams have figured out their game plans. Carrying it over. Ooh, a little too short. Good block there by putting them.
Francis Gellert normally on the receiving end of those hooks, not on the throwing end.
Ooh. Fumbled it there. Hope. Nope. Gellert. Yup.
See, Gellert on the receiving end.
Mm-hmm. That's more like it.
That's what we're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Francis Gellert has had 10 goals on this season, which is the most of anyone on the team, and 5 assists and 6 blocks.
Oh yeah. +5 in all the major categories for Gellert. A lot of work being done.
So coming into this second half, what adjustments do you see?
Honestly, they just need to catch the disc more if you're the Onyx. Just a couple bobbles, you can't really account for them. You just got to be like, okay, put more emphasis on securing the disc first. But they're doing everything else pretty well. They just got to set themselves up and catch the disc. What about if you're Seattle?
I think if I'm Seattle, I keep doing this this junk set that they're doing to be able, you can see how they're bracketing in the front of the stack, you know, trying to frustrate the handlers, taking up space. Because I think that this zone or junk setup is enticing Oregon to make some of their creative throws that don't always have the highest completion percentages, which gets the disc back in Tempest's hands, which allows them to be able to attack.
I think this junk is really like confusing the cutters. They're just unsure when to go, but here we go. A little opening, a little valve. Ooh, Cheryl Sue. Uh-oh. Discussion going on.
Oregon player saying they had the disc in their hand. Coming to the observer rules that there was no foul, so that the disc is down and the turnover stands.
Yeah. Cheryl Sue making a defensive impact.
Want to highlight Alexa Kirkland in the backfield right now. Alexa this is her second year on Tempest, but Alexa played as a cutter last year and is playing as a handler this year.
Versatile. Bird Cherry swings it, gets it back. Oh, good grab. Lefty pivot. Jamie Erickson gets the under. Thinks about it, says nah. Hey, upstairs, give me that. Baron Simmons up to Erickson. Seattle really turning it over.
You know, it's like they're listening to us.
Yeah.
Seattle's like, oh, we're gonna make it easier. We're gonna have some of those unforced errors to, you know, help Oregon out.
I was just about to say they're making it easy for themselves. Oh. Timeout here.
So we haven't talked about timeouts yet this game. Something that's unique about the rule set for the WUL is that you do, a timeout can be called by the player on the field with the disc, or it can be called by a coach from the sideline. When a timeout is called, all of the personnel can be changed. So in other versions of Ultimate, the same individuals have to stay on the field, and here it really gives the ability to change who's on the field. If you want to put an O-line out, if you want to put a D-line out, if you want to give your players a break because there have been 4 or 5 turns in the point already, a timeout can really be used effectively. You know, and in this scenario, you know, you get fresh players, you get players who are going to, you know, you can choose the exact 7 players that you want on the field.
Yeah. It's a cool rule. I think it really like it's an advantage. You can like get the block and call timeout, put your O-line out there, like really take advantage of the break chance.
I think it's interesting that Oregon here in offense is setting up in sort of their own version of a spread with, you know, 3 cutters on one side, 2 cutters on the other side, really, you know, allowing space for isolation for those downfield cutters, different than the no reset vertical offense that they've been running much of the time.
And we're back in action. Sherwood do it. In the end zone. Ooh, Hannah Kawhi giving chase. Sneeder unable to come down and in the deep space.
That was a beautiful put by Julia Sherwood. And really well timed by Sneeder. And, you know, Hannah Kawhi's a phenomenal defender.
Oh, yeah. Like a half a second too much float. Hannah Kawhi got the D, gets it now on offense. Up to Jezerski. Cassie Wong, box out. Oh.
What a block!
Mm-hmm.
Wow! Gosh, I hope we got that on replay. I want to see that again.
JC
Let's
Jones.
Go! Oh.
JC Jones.
Wow.
Onyx get it back here. Oh. Tough drop there by Barth. Now Seattle 5 yards out. Elmi finds someone in the end zone as Linnea Sue gets another one.
We're going to pause here and have a JC Jones love fest after that block. So this is a soft spot in my heart as someone who has played ice hockey and has had many concussions. JC Jones played soccer and ice hockey, but had to stop because they had too many concussions. And because Ultimate is supposed to be non-contact, switched over to Ultimate Frisbee. Phenomenal. And has played for the Mexican mixed national team.
Wow.
So awesome. JC Jones, you are such a boss. JC Jones also serves as the general manager for Oregon, so is doing a lot of work in the background to make this team happen. And I just have so much respect for players that are getting it done with blocks like that on the field and getting it done off the field. And shout out to other players who have concussions and, you know, respect for getting back on the field.
Concussions are tricky. Back to the action. Eisenbray now. Smooth throw up to Jones. Big under there. This is Clough. Pick called. People catch up. Pre-stall. Hold on. Go. Eisenbray. Nice step.
Some great reset D by Francis Geller. And way to really attack by Eisenbray.
Oof. Through the hands, off the chest. That's tough.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, the execution.
Oh, gets another chance right back at them. Eisenbray walking. Everybody else setting up. You go this way, I go this way. Jones puts a nice move on. Gets the big around.
That was such a cheeky inside.
Over the top. That was Rachel Egan to Greta Eisenbray. They come down with it.
Oregon needed that. Oregon, you know, I think coming out of this half, both teams have been a little bit sloppy.
Yeah.
Coming into this game, Greta Eisenbray had played 58 points so far, which was the second on the team, second only to Julia Sherwood, who'd played 59 points. And I think that when you look at both of Greta's stat line and Julia's stat line, you can see, you know, you can see them as being really well-rounded players that do a lot offensively, do a lot defensively, can score goals, can throw goals, can get blocks, and that's why they're being asked to play so many points for the team, right? I think that that is so much of what Greta's strength is. They're such a, you know, jack of all trades. You can plug them into so many different players, and they can really have a positive impact everywhere.
And a Kawhi looking for an option. Ooh.
High stall count bailout. Jamie Erickson there just in time.
Swing, swing. Elmi. Ooh. Stephanie Lim looks for it. Ooh. Just out of the hands.
Something I want to point out the Oregon's defense is doing is they're trying to stick a sort of a poach in the lane in the handler space to kind of clog up that lane. And I think that you could see it making a difference there. It is making it harder for both the Tempest handlers and the Tempest downfield to be able to move the disc quite as quickly. And so that is a tactical adjustment that we're seeing that's helping.
Why all the way around? Baron Simmons up to rolling. Ooh. Uncharacteristic turn there by rolling. We'll see if they can get it back.
Looked like a miscommunication.
Naomi really making them work in the backfield. Putting them. Camrat has done a lot of good things here today. Barth. Ooh. Another stoppage.
Let's take a moment during this stoppage to think about some of our sponsors for the Seattle Cascades. So Seattle Cascades are sponsored by Swedish, by Portage Bay, and now back to the action.
Ooh, big contest right there. Gets it up. Putting them. Keeps putting them. In the end zone. Camrat. To Sneeder. Yes, indeed. It's a good goal there by the Onyx. Can't get 6 goals unless you get 1.
Tina Sneeder was on the U.S. Women's National Team in 2016. They won gold with Team USA during that campaign. I think that, you know, really Tina credits Lou Burris, her college ultimate coach, with some of the philosophies and how to train and some of the mental toughness that she has that, you know, really makes a difference in being able to be effective on the field. And I think that, you know, the coaches that we have both on this field and throughout our lives can make such a big difference for us.
For sure.
So, shout out Lou Burris for all that you do. He's been a huge factor for the development of the Eugene Ultimate scene. And when we look at this Oregon Onyx roster, you know, we could say about 35% of the players are from Eugene, you know, and the other percentage, about 60-ish, are from Portland. And a lot of that development in that area is credited to Lou Burris.
Ooh. Ricarte snatches it in traffic. Oh. Up top, Laura toes it in.
Speaking of national teams, Laura Toe will also be representing the U.S. on the under-24 national team. And you know who's going to be coaching that team? Rory Titcomb, a Seattle Tempest coach, will be coaching that U.S. national team. So we have players on U.S. national teams. We have coaches that are coaching those teams. Explosion of talent.
For sure.
While we are thinking of coaching, I know that both Oregon and Seattle really have a huge culture of players that are playing at high levels, also contributing and coaching in their community. Whether they are coaching elementary leagues like you, or they are coaching, you know, YCC teams that are like the youth club championships. They're coaching college teams. There are lots of opportunities to coach. And a fun Seattle coaching crossover from Oregon is that Greta Eisenbray will be working at many of the Dis Northwest summer camps this summer.
Wow, nice.
So if you want to learn how to play Ultimate.
And you could be like Lexi Garrity.
Go to those Dis Northwest summer camps.
Sharon Sal.
Oregon also has many awesome summer camps for kids too. You should do those too, depending on where you live.
Lexi Garrity gets the assist. Sharon Sal. Oh.
Called not in from the first point of contact.
Called, yeah. Kawhi. And Jezerski will get a goal instead of an assist.
That's the wrong category. Send it back. Has to go the other way around.
Yep. Tempest keeping the tempo here as we head into the last couple minutes here in the third quarter.
So, I'm just gonna keep going on with this coach thing because Sadie Jezerski also coaching YCC for Seven Hills, and Laura Toe also coaching YCC. I think these are just great examples of how players are committed to giving back to their community. They're coaching the youth, coaching this next level, even while performing at a professional level.
For sure. Laura Toe, also a member of the South End community, also coaching the South End youth right now.
You gonna tell us about Age Up?
Age Up, but also if you know somebody in the stadium, tell them to hit up the Cleveland High School bake sale happening up here. Ooh, as the shot goes up. Ooh, wow.
What a grab!
Patience finds the right connection. That is Catherine Schuyer in the end zone.
Wow. That was such great plays from Abby Clough. Like, so many players, when you catch this disc right away, there's this inclination of like, okay, I got it. Now I got to give it away. And you can see how they fake off that initial play, give the receiver a little bit more time to get open, which leads to that being a goal as opposed to a misconnection. And it is those decisions, it's a series of those small decisions that Clough just exhibited right there. That's what's going to make the difference for Onyx to be able to close this gap. And given how tight the standings are, sort of in this second spot out of the conference to get into championship weekend, it might come down to point differential. So even if Oregon can't close the gap enough to win this game, every point that they score to help their point differential will pay dividends.
For sure, every point really counts. Ooh. Bobble there by Ricarte, uncharacteristic for Seattle. Oregon sets up. Good first step.
There's a lot of space between the thrower and the receivers there.
Sneeder looking for a way to get it. And the kick spike ensues. Oh, nope. Bring it back. Wow.
A contested, it looks like a stall being called to the observer. The
Turnover. Yep.
Stall stands. That's tough.
It is tough.
Oregon could have used that.
Wow. And a Kawhi. With a gorgeous throw. Unable to connect, but wow.
If you look across the league, puck completions are, sitting overall at about 50%. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here tonight.
Shot goes up. This is the last possession. Good box out. Sneeder goes upstairs. Hey! Camrat comes down with it in the end zone. That's a good way to end the quarter for the Onyx.
That's what they needed.
I believe that is a break, yeah.
And kudos to Oregon. This is the second time they've been able to use this possession at the end of a quarter to be able to score another point. That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Huge grab by Julia Sherwood. Great put. Knowing your receiver, knowing that Sneeder can just get up and get at everything really makes a difference.
Nice over the top. Camrat comes down with it.
Let's go, Oregon. This is what you need to do. More of that. More of that.
I really like this this colorway that Oregon here has here on their kits. It kind of reminds me of like a salmon.
Pacific Northwest Salmon. We got to stay true to our roots.
For sure.
Well, that is the end of the third quarter. We are going to take a short break as we head into the fourth quarter. We will see you back shortly.
I'm Lex Garrity. I play for Seattle Tempest. When I step on the field at Memorial Stadium under the Space Needle, it's such an iconic part of Seattle, and it just brings this awesome sense of like I'm truly competing for my city, and it's just so exciting to like have a home stadium and have a sense of pride in defending like your turf against an opposing team. I'm Lex Garrity. I play for Seattle.
Welcome back. We are here with Seattle Tempest versus Oregon Onyx at home here in Seattle. We are at the start of the fourth quarter. Seattle's leading 13-8. Oregon has possession to start this fourth quarter.
Ooh! That was a good toe-in attempt there by Nikki Bruce.
But Laura Toe gets the disc after. My puns aren't as good as yours, I'm sorry.
Totally doesn't hurt to try. Ooh, same third shot. Wow! Baron Simmons gets horizontal. Woo!
That was phenomenal. Like, you can see the torque from Laura's body, and that's a great athletic play by Baron Simmons.
That is a Laura specialty is the throws, especially the backhand.
Mm-hmm.
The backhand is the money one right there. Bow. Come on. Go Quakes.
And that is our Discraft play of the game right there, and well deserved by Baron Simmons. Great throw by Laura. So we want to highlight that here in Seattle, it is Sustainable Saturday. So there is a commitment to offsetting the game day carbon footprint, and that, you know, if you are here on the concourse, that there are a number of eco-friendly game day activities that you can partake in, and that there's an emphasis on highlighting a variety of local orgs that are focused on sustainability. So shout out to Sustainable Saturday. Let's really, you know, commit to making a difference for climate change.
Oh yeah. Oh, Eisenbray has eyes on the end zone. Good box out, comes down with it. That's Rachel Egan. Wow, what a play there.
That was a really phenomenal, there's a really phenomenal grab and read by Egan. You know, sandwiched between two Tempest defenders.
Yeah. Speaking of torque, Eisenbray with a good display. What can you say? Two Tempests? No way. Egan eager to score. Wonderful play. There's about there's like no wind right now. I don't want to say it, but the flags on the opposite end are not moving. So it was a perfect time for that look.
Yeah, I mean, it means that some of the creative throw choices from Oregon have have more of the ability to connect without any wind at all.
Good pull here. Up to Cherry. Gellert keeps those feet in bounds. Wow. Too much sauce. Good connection there. Really looking it in there is putting them. Ooh. The footwork to the throw. Nope, nope, nope. Not enough real estate to track that one down. Burt walks it to the line as Seattle sets up in a new formation. Dumps it. Gets it back. Burt lets it go. Francis Gellert down deep. Somehow comes down with it. Wow.
Trailing edge grab.
Yes.
Sandwich between 3 Oregon players.
Man. Sharon Sal gets it back. Cherry carving out space. Oh. Foul called. Kirkland looking for help. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, Cherry is cutting up line, and Cedar, you know, has to kind of gets her hand on the disc, but clearly has bodying Cherry and has to go around to be able to make a play on that disc. You know, you can see the players talking it out here. So one of the important things about the sport of Ultimate is that, you know, we don't have referees, we have observers. And by having observers, it puts the onus on the players to, you know, have these conversations and, you know, and learn what we call spirit of the game. And there are the observers there for guidance to, you know, help support, keep the game moving quickly.
For sure.
In this case, Cherry keeps possession.
Seattle handlers playing catch here. Now break side with it.
Rachel Bradshaw!
There we go.
Rachel Bradshaw's the best.
Kirkland to Bradshaw on the break side. Oh, say that 3 times fast.
Rachel Bradshaw is a longtime player. World Championship. She and I have a couple World Championships together, and is a phenomenal player, is really known for her feisty defense, being such a tight player, and is just such a kind, nerdy soul, is a scientist, you know, likes to study bio things, has worked at UW, is about to start a new job at Seattle Genetics shortly. Rachel Bradshaw, you're wonderful. I might be biased, but also you're wonderful.
What else is wonderful was the hot chocolate I got from Vulpine Espresso here on the concourse. Also, Scooby Dogs.
Also that throw.
Jinkies, end zone, wow.
Wow.
Eisenbrey connects deep with Camrat.
That is the Oregon that we want to see. Let's go. Maybe we should shout out more random people, and then the Oregon will be making plays like this on the field.
It was in the air for so long.
That's such great float.
Good read, good throw, good catch. Good is good.
Marina Kamrat is really making, you know, is making a difference, is making a big difference with this game, doing a lot of, you know, little things right. Has a background in ballet.
Oh.
Play a little bit of soccer, but, you know, grew into the sport of Ultimate. Excited that you're here. We can see that Oregon's throwing their own zone look here, trying to mess with this Tempest offense.
Cassie Wong with a good cut. Shot goes up. Hey.
I love it when things I say earlier in the broadcast come true. Because we got another goal by Anna Couchy. Doesn't touch it in the middle of the field, but you could see Cassie Wong getting it on the sideline here. Oh my God, just got wrong. Anna Couchy gives it to Cassie. But you can see Cassie waving her hands and just telling Anna to go. Go play fetch.
Yep.
Go catch this disc. I know that's what you want to do. Let me feed it to you.
For sure. I want to give it to you.
Cassie doing a great job. Nose to the end zone.
Just a little over 7 minutes remaining.
So as we start looking ahead, you know, like where we are in the season, this is week 6 of a 10-week season, so we are just over that halfway point. You know, teams are going to have 8 games on the season. Both of these teams have played 4 of their 8 games. Everything matters here. You know, we're seeing refined versions of these teams, but there's still plenty of room to grow as we're trying to get ready for championship weekend.
Last second. Wow. Up the line. Zajon. Loses the hat but finds the end zone. That's Nikki Bruce.
Nikki Bruce has played for the U24 national team for the U.S., but has also played for the New Zealand national team.
Wow.
So we have, you know, a lot of players here who, you know, have ties to multiple places, and it's so awesome, you know, a player like Nikki having ties to the Seattle area and ties to, you know, to the Portland area, able to make such a big difference.
For sure.
Nikki says that her favorite throw is the open throw.
Man, I wish the youth thought the same.
You know, that shows the maturity, the age, the experience.
Good throw there to Erickson. Ooh. A little too ambitious there. Probably didn't see putting them lurking in the deep space there. Here goes a break chance for Oregon.
Yeah, Angela Wells, the San Diego coach, said on the West Perspective blog that, you know, something that Oregon needs to do is they need to, you know, limit turnovers, and they also need to consider tightening up on on Seattle's dynamic throwers. And I think that, you know, that's what you're seeing. I think that
stall here.
As Oregon is tightening up on the Tempest throwers, it is creating situations like that where Erickson puts it, gets a turnover. Unfortunately, another turnover has occurred, so Tempest gets it back.
And Kayla Rowling.
Does what Kayla Rowling does.
Yep.
I really enjoy kind of Caitlin Rowling's like signature, like standing tower scoop move with the disc. Like we've seen that a couple of times this season.
Yeah.
It's like rapidly becoming her mark, her thing.
The crowd is going crazy on the other side. Shout out to everybody who's in attendance.
There was a youth clinic happening here before the game, and I think that with the 5 p.m. game time, we can really have a strong presence from the youth, and they are being loud. So
Oh,
great.
yeah. Saw a couple kids I coach over there. You love to see it.
That is some fiery D by Linnea Sue.
foul call. Ooh. Tajima has seen that throw enough today.
We need to replay that.
Puts their foot down. Enough. Swings it off the line. Here's Tajima. Getting the field. Looking for an option. Goes floaty to the other side. Nice. Zajon gets a bump. Big bump. Here's Tetlow. Tajima now. There goes Camrat.
I saw.
Ooh. Nice inside shot. Tajima directing traffic. There goes the hammer. Hammer to Bruce. Come on.
That's really well played by Oregon.
Just technical right there.
Really beautiful movement. I think the thing that I love about it is it's still, you know, Oregon is playing with the hallmarks of their play, where they're driving up the line and they're creative with their throw choices. They're looking for that hammer across the field. It has like the sass and the spunk and the personality that is Oregon.
Again, I just want to point out that there's no wind right now, which is unheard of in this stadium. Loretto. Francis Gellert, good catch over the middle. Up to Kirkland. No mark. Here comes Cherry. All the way around. Kirkland running the show here. Ooh, lefty connection. Little step through. Hey, Loretto gets another assist. In the end zone is Rachel Bradshaw. Wow. Loretto with the step through lefty forehand. Total bucket. Here comes the replay. Ooh. Make it easy for him. Right on a platter. That's how everybody eats. Good job, Laura.
That's beautiful.
Erickson on the pull. It's a good straight one, has some loft. Over the top. Off the line. Tajima. Ooh. There it goes. Trailing into Zajon. Over the top, over Jezerski. Camrat. Got eyes on the end zone. Now for the dump. Erickson gets a hand on it. But Camrat is handling here. Tajima knocking on the door. Camrat tracks it over the shoulder. Good. Good catch. Wow. Oregon gets another one up on the board.
Oregon is coming out firing. They are fighting. Just some beautiful players by so many players. Beautiful plays by so many players.
Seattle kind of running on autopilot here. Maybe an autopilot error. So we'll see if they can finish these last 3 minutes with some good technical ultimate. You don't want to lull. Camera doing everything. All the little things, they add up.
We also just want to acknowledge that there is a score question mark that is happening in the background here. So we are confirming to make sure that the score that we have is accurate. So that discussion is happening, and once that is resolved, we will, make sure we follow up with you with the final outcome.
Ricarte gets it back. Here's Kirkland. Ooh, gets creative over the top to Ricarte. Wow.
That sort of waiting outside his throw is Alexa's favorite. I think like really a Kirkland hallmark. And has the arc and shape that a lot of, oh wow, this crowd is loud. You can hear those children.
Oh yeah.
Has the arc and shape of a lot of the Oregon throws, but it's definitely a favorite throw of Alexa, and you can see that there. And Alexa and Jennifer have played enough together that Jennifer knows to get into the end zone for that throw.
I think that throw is so amazing because it's like when you check back on the mark, like when you're guarding someone, you don't really check up. You kind of check back towards the disc, but if the disc is in your blind spot, it's hard to track down. Here we go, Jezerski on the pull. Not as much loft on this one. Eisenbray. Ooh, unable to connect there in the backfield.
That's an unfortunate turnover. Really gives field position to Tempest.
Kawhi sneaks it through, but unsuccessful on the little shot there.
That's a hard catch for Bradshaw to make.
Under 2 minutes now. Eisenbray all the way up to Cluff.
So we have an injury substitution happening.
Yeah.
When an injury substitution happens, the team that is taking the injury, in this case Onyx, is allowed to have a player come off and be replaced by a player, and the opposing team is also allowed to exchange one player should they if they want it.
Sherwood, little floaty thing to up to Eisenbray. Eisenbray, eyes on the end zone. Ooh! Heads up.
Oregon's really working their give-go. It's having a big impact, like the way that they're able to move the disc quickly to be able to then find those long shots. Joya's able to get the separation, to get that big pass from Greta Eisenbray. That's really what's making this offense work right now.
Sherwood in the deep space. Sure-handed.
So we do want to acknowledge that there was a score miscue earlier. Oregon has 14 now, so we were 1 short for Oregon. So the correct score is what you see on your scoreboard at home. The score is 19 for Seattle to 14 for Oregon. That includes the last point that Julia Sherwood just scored now. And you can see Julia Sherwood, such a impact player, scores that last point and is asked to stay on. Keep playing. So essential to this Onyx D as well as their own.
Lim on the sideline, able to keep it in. Maron Simmons. Caitlin rolling now. Gets it off the line. Cheryl Sue. Oh, good run through there by Ava Pope. Here goes a break chance for Oregon. Ooh, Caitlin rolling, gets in there. Lorto in the end zone to Cheryl Sue. Cheryl's used to throwing goals, but right there, they catch one.
Let's highlight let's highlight Eva Pope's accolades. You know, got the block right there. Although, you know, ultimately, Tempest got it back and is able to score here. Let's give some love where love is due. Eva Pope was on the U.S. national women's team in 2020, and you know, cliche to say, but she, like, has been shaped as an ultimate player because of the enjoyment and fun. Says that she plays at her full potential when she's connecting with teammates and having fun on the field. And of course, you know, having intense and consistent training has helped build her foundation of skill and athleticism. You know, and her favorite throw are some cheeky inside flicks.
It's a good one.
Those cheeky inside flicks are definitely a highlight of this Oregon offense. There are a lot of players that throw those.
John just unable to catch it. That was a little microcosm of Oregon's day here. And with 5 seconds remaining, Seattle can really just hold it, but I don't think they will.
There was a point at practice last year where we all were supposed to practice our game and celebration. If we had possession of the disc and we were up, we were told that when the whistle blew, we should, you know, show our celebration because we didn't need to finish the point.
Cassie Wong to Hannah Kawhi for the exclamation point goal. 21 sounds better than 20. Seattle Tempest.
Clearly the Tempest coaches felt differently this year.
Oh yeah. Point dip matters. Wow. Look at that crowd. Shout out everybody who came out. Shout out to Oregon for driving up. We'll see how the rest of their season pans out for them here. They're in the thick of it for pretty much fighting for that second playoff spot. Anything else you want to wrap up here with?
In talking to Mike, the Portland coach before the game, or the Oregon coach before the game, he said that his preference was to have Seattle not score 28 points like they did in their last game.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? He was successful, right?
Yeah.
Tempest only scored 21 points today. But, you know, still a really impressive win by Seattle. You know, continues the strength of their season, and I think that we see a lot of sass, a lot of potential from Oregon, and I think that, you know, the story for Oregon is going to be to clean up their execution. You know, work on catches under pressure, making sure they're, you know, executing, stepping out, and able to deliver their throws. And I think that, you know, if Oregon is able to do that in the future, they really are able to make a run for that second playoff spot.
Yeah, for sure. Like the major key points for the Oregon players is, like, you know, the season continues, and yeah.
Both teams will be having a couple weeks off and will be coming back with a Utah doubleheader. So Utah will be coming up on the weekend of May 6th and 7th, playing against both Oregon and Seattle. So that will be the next game for both of these teams, and that will be a pretty important weekend for all involved as we are looking for those last playoff spots.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll catch you next home game. I'm Anthony Zag Ziegler.
I'm Charlie Mercer.
And peace. We'll see y'all next time.